Your lower self is actually your greatest potential, and your higher self is the particular being that is trying to suppress you. Okay, so what you have to understand is that sometimes people are holier than thou, right? You have to understand that your higher self is your greatest self. Understand that. That's your spirit, right? But understand that your lower self, when it's renewed, right? Once you renew the flesh, once you resurrect yourself, because that's essentially what you're trying to do, is that you're not trying to crucify the flesh and lay it away, lay it aside. You're not trying to suppress that lower side of you, right? To suppress the beast within you. Because if you suppress the beast, once it has its opportunity to strike, it will go berserk. You will black out. But you have to understand that you can't slay the beast. You can't particularly suppress the beast. You have to control the beast. You have to compromise with that beast, that inner shadow within you, that inner being. So once you overcome the dragon, you become the dragon. Once you overcome your lower self, you become your lower self. Okay, you resurrect your lower self into becoming divine, into becoming holy. Okay, so your lower self is your pedestal. Your higher self, though, has to get in touch and in reality with the things around itself. Okay, your higher self is holier than thou. It's the particular light that you are trying to direct your lower self in, right? But understand that if you go too much into the too much into the light, you will be blind. You know, you're going to think you're holier than thou. You're going to be arrogant. You're going to be egotistical. Understand that this is the same thing in your lower self. If you're too low, you'll be a bottom feeder. You know what I'm saying? You'll be a parasite, so on and so forth. And same thing in being too much into the light. People who are too much into the light and think that they are holier than thou are also parasites, and just as negative as people who are also too much into darkness. All right, and into the darkness of ignorance, I should say. So what you have to understand is that you have to have balance between your higher self and your lower self, because neither one is bad. Neither one is bad. It doesn't matter if you're on the dark side or on the light side. It doesn't matter if you associate with Haru or Set. It doesn't matter what particular polarity that you identify with, or that you associate with, or that you even dress up in. All right? Understand that the particular polarities of things that we identify as good and evil is only the perception that humans have given to us. All right? So what you have to understand is that there can't be any imbalance. All right? Because there is such thing as disorderly good and disorderly evil. All right? So what you have to understand is that when we are dealing with the polarity of just good and evil, we are dealing with chaos and we are dealing with order. All right? So just because something might appear to be chaotic does not mean that it doesn't have order. And just because something seems to have order doesn't mean it's not chaotic. All right? So something can be chaotically in order and something can be orderly chaotic. All right? So understand that when we are dealing with our lower self is our greatest potential. All right? Because once you dig down into darkness, you go into the abyss, right? That's where you're going to find the hidden treasure. That's where you're going to find the treasure chest. That's where you're going to go into darkness and find the light. You're going to find the big diamond. You're going to find the rubies.